Let's be honest, time is the most valuable thing in your life, period. It's not money, it's time. So I guess all of our guys are on board with that and have been for a while. It's a way to track all your data. So like data is power is money. So if you understand how long it's taking your guys to do tasks, then you can more accurately price your jobs. You're more likely to get work than you're also more likely to make money, because let's be honest, we're all in business to make money. Yes, we love building beautiful things for people, but at the end of the day, the reason we do it is to hopefully put some food on the table for our families and then create the lifestyle that we want to create. So
all right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Build Insight. I've got an amazing guest here today that I've had the pleasure to get to know over the past few years. We've got Nathan Stevenson from Newfound Building. Nate's based in Illawarra and does a lot of the south coast of New South Wales, beautiful part of the world. Nate, it's awesome to have you on here, mate. We've spent a lot of time together, both on Zooms with building coaching platforms. We've had some amazing times together with some conferences and some interstate travel. A few cheeky beers along the way, and talking all things family, building, and life. So, welcome, mate. Do you want to start by just chatting a little bit about yourself, and we'll dive in?
Yeah, we'll do. Dino, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me. I feel really privileged that you guys have invited me on your podcast. So, as you said, it's been a bit of a journey for us boys. A bit of a shame Lukey can't make it today, but take my hat off to you guys, to what you guys are doing with the podcast. It's really good, mate. So, a bit about myself. Custom builder, similar to you guys, based in the south coast of New South Wales. So we predominantly work within the Illawarra regions, but the whole of the south coast we target. Just along the journey, similar to you guys, and just trying to be better every day than what we were the last day, and build beautiful custom homes for people. So,
no, that's awesome, mate. And I know even the last 2 years, mate, I know when we first met, you're very much so, mate, what I would say is a real person. Like, there's no hiding behind anything with you, mate. You're there for other people, and you're also very vulnerable. And I know, even only if we can talk about it, mate, you had an Instagram post or something a couple of weeks ago, and I think the reality is Instagram can be a place where you can look like you're absolutely dominating and put all the polished things on, and no one might get to see the shit we do behind the scenes, or the struggles, or the failures, so to speak, mate, where you definitely do not do that. You're very real and open along the way, and you put it out there to try and help other people too, mate. So I know we've just spoken off air. Things don't necessarily always go smoothly, and mate, you're on the back end of some of these surprises that you don't see coming.
Yeah. So I guess what kind of inspired that, I just I had a phone call from a random builder. It was actually, it stemmed to an inquiry from our website, and Alex got it, went through to her, and she said, "Oh, look, this guy, this local builder has reached out. He listened to the podcast that I went on with Dwayne, the Level Up podcast, and he was, just listening to what I was saying, and as you said, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I just, there's no hiding behind the glitz and the glamour, because like the reality of it is, Instagram is very polished, so social media, and I get sick of that sometimes. I really do love it. It's a great marketing tool, and I feel like it's a part of our lives, and it will be for a long time to come. But I just feel like the reality is, everyone just tries to keep up with everyone else. And this guy reached out to me, and we gave him my number, and he gave me a call, and I had probably a 20 or 30 minute conversation with him. I've never met this guy. I know his company because he is within our region. He's an amazing builder, like doing really beautiful high-end custom builds. Like you look at the Facebook page, and you're like, shit. And this guy's talking to me, and he's saying like, I listened to that podcast you were with Dwayne, and I, you know, opened up about all my struggles and pretty much everything up and down to my journey, and he said I could just relate to it, and I said, mate, that's why I went on the podcast, to tell my story and just to say that, you know, like it's not all roses and rainbows. So we had a good chat and spoke, you know, from the heart, and I mentioned to him that we've got a local group of builders that we do a builders breakfast with, and, you know, once a month we try and go and have a game of golf. And so he's now jumped on board with that. So I'm still yet to meet the guy, but that's what kind of inspired that post. I just got into my truck, and I think I was driving to the tip, and I was like, I just need to say this. I need to get it off my chest. And we got a pretty good feedback from it. And I never really think that you get that sort of response from people, but if I can just do it and it can help, you know, 1, 2, 3 or 4 guys that, you know, may be struggling behind this persona that everything has to be perfect. Because if I'm honest about myself and my life and my business, I reckon it's probably only perfect about 10% of the time. So that's 90% of the time shit generally goes sideways. And it's not like, it's not as in it goes bad. It's just that's the reality of owning a building business. Is it's, you know, it's not easy.
No, it's not, mate. And I think, like, one thing about you, which is just so remarkable, is no matter what's going on, like, you might not even feel like, and I know you at times you might not have felt comfortable in your own skin, but to actually show that vulnerability, you know, and growth in yourself as a man and as a business owner, to put yourself out there, I think too many people in society might be worried that they're going to be judged. I can't be open and honest. I can't talk to someone because they're going to judge me. But the reality is that I think we all go through shit at times, and it's really only when we start talking about it with other people. It might be your partner or a best mate or something like that, but to put it out there, not worry about, I'm not going to get judged by future clients. I'm not going to get judged by other peers or anything like, or your own employees, for example, is massive, mate. So there's been a lot of that over time. Mate, let's wind it back a bit. Like, how'd you get started, and when was Newfound created? And let's talk your journey, mate.
Okay, so we'll go, I don't know how far back you want to go, but I'll tell the story similar to what I did to Dwayne. So we've actually hit 10 years in business this year, so that was a huge milestone for us. So 2014 I started, so my journey, I guess it's pretty conventional from a carpentry point of view. You know, like I did all those subjects at school that I wanted to do to become a chippy. I was lucky in the sense that's all I ever wanted to do. Like, you know, probably from primary school. I just had an obsession with timber and using things in my hands. I was always building skate ramps and jumps and, you know, pulling stuff apart and putting it back together. So I was pretty fortunate in the sense that I always knew what I wanted to do. So I did those subjects within school, managed to secure an apprenticeship. I was indentured with the MBA, and I ended up getting a job, would have been in 2007, with a high-rise company. And I got offered 2 apprenticeships. One was with a high-rise company and one was with a small custom builder. And at the time, it was a global financial crisis, and job, you know, stability and was very unknown. So off the back of, I guess, advice from my old man, he said, look, go with a bigger company. You got, you know, more job stability and that sort of thing. So pretty much for the first 18 months, I was a glorified labourer. So it wasn't what I signed up to be, put it that way. And I'm not one to quit, so I stuck it out. But, you know, like I was doing probably, as a 17-year-old kid, it was mandatory 6 days a week, 10-hour days, which is fine. I was always had the capacity to work, but I wasn't learning the skills I wanted to learn. So I ended up getting a transfer to a really small custom builder and sort out my time with him. He was kind of opposite end in the sense that he was really small. So I ended up leaving him after a few years to try and gain some more knowledge in ground up construction, you know, building duplexes, single homes, custom homes, and renos, top stories, all that stuff that I hadn't really done with him. I really wanted to learn. So I guess I've always had that drive to want to learn more and be better. And then, I guess like most guys, I started, I did my Cert 4, got my ticket for that. And then I wanted to have a taste of doing it myself. So I started doing weekend work, and cashies were coming in because cash was a thing back then, which was really good. It allowed me to kind of keep up with my lifestyle and the toys that I like to call hobbies. It just got to a point, mate, where it was just I had enough work, and I just wanted to challenge myself and know if I could do it, and if I could go back and tell, I don't even know how old I would have been, 24-year-old Nathan now, like what I know now, I'd sit him down and say, it's fucking a lot harder than what you think it's going to be, but you still got to have a crack and you just got to stay resilient. So started Newfound 2014, and then, pretty much worked by myself for 3 to 4 years, got an apprentice, and then slowly worked our way up. And even to this day, I'm constantly learning. We're trying to be better. I think if you're not learning, you're dying. So we're always, that's where we're at. That's the journey.
That's awesome, mate. I think the learning curve, we're all busy. I know yourself, mate. We're both proud girl dads and young kids and running businesses and trying to fit in a lifestyle as well. And there's never really spare time, but you've got to create that time to better yourself and further your education. And that's definitely something you've committed to.
Yeah, I think being disciplined has been the biggest thing for me. I think since having kids was, I guess, not a turning point, but I just had more clarity in what I needed to do and where I needed to be and how I needed to get there.
I need to jump in here for a minute, guys, to thank our sponsors, Backman Builders and Calorie Building. Without the support of these businesses, the Build Insight podcast wouldn't be possible. Take a moment to go and show some support for them so they can continue to support us, bringing you the Build Insight podcast.
I think maybe because you get more maturity about yourself and your goals, I guess, shift a little bit. But having kids definitely changed me because, I just want to be better for them. I want to be better for my wife. I want to be better for the guys on our team. I want to be better for our clients. So if I can do the small things every day, that allow me to show up and turn up and be better, then they're the steps that I've got to take to get me through.
Yeah, you got that purpose, mate. So, for yourself, you took on a lot. You've jumped a couple of years ago into Live Life Build. That's how we connected, mate, with some business and building coaching with our respective businesses. What were some of the biggest things you took out of making that decision, mate?
Yeah, so I guess if we can go back a step, that's when I joined Live Life Build. We were in a real bad financial position within our business. I just completed a job for a friend of mine, which we lost like a significant amount of money on. That's my own fault. I put my hand up. I dropped my margins, and I knew that because I was trying to do this for my mate, and so it's no one else's fault but my own. But financially, I was in a really bad position, and there was a few other things that were going on. Obviously, I had my youngest daughter, Tully. She's 2 now, so it wasn't really a great time for me to sign up. To be honest, my old man was telling me not to do it because financially, he's like, it's going to kill you. Outgoings were already there. We didn't have the money. Had to take out an overdraft just to pay our team. But within myself, I just needed something. I needed something different. I needed to, I guess, learn more and understand more about the business because although I thought I knew what I was doing, I definitely didn't. So, like pricing jobs and doing the work is one thing, but then running a building company and understanding your overheads and your numbers and everything else, all the systems that we have in place now that we have learned from those guys, which is, it's invaluable to me. I thought I was on top of it, and it's you don't know if you don't know. But 2 years ago, we're at that point where I needed a change. So we pulled the trigger and we signed up, and not only meeting you guys and the networking of, I wouldn't even know how many people we've met. Like it's astonishing how many guys that we're in contact with now through Live Life Build. Just what we learned, like all the systems and processes that we have in place, just this simple things like having an inquiry form and setting your business hours on your letterhead templates on your emails, just shit that you don't even think of. But I guess like you don't get taught that unless you have someone around you, like a mentor, like a builder that's willing to teach you that stuff. Like when I left the builder that I worked for probably 5 years, I left him and told him I was, going to have a crack and do it myself. He's pretty much like, don't let the door hit you on the way out kind of shit. I'm just like, that just old school mentality it just does my head in, because if one of my guys said to me now they want to go out and, work for themselves, I would coach them and guide them just out of, I just wouldn't want them to make the same mistakes that I've made, because it's not only stressful, it's financially, can be financially crippling. So if you have the capacity to help someone, I just don't understand why people wouldn't. So yeah, that's kind of the journey for.
Do you think, I know for myself, I did half of my time on the back end of my apprenticeship with one of my uncles. I've got, a rich family of building experience on my dad's side anyway. And, a lot of high-end, really amazing homes that they built over the years. So I got a real insight to how to build a really good home and get the skill set. But and I really knew I wanted to be a builder from a young age. I think I started out when I was about 23. Darren was 21 when we started building for other people. And, I think the businesses we run now with technology and everything, it's advanced and it's changing all of the time. I know there's other coaching groups out there and, no affiliations, but I know the Future Builder guys are doing a lot of stuff based around technology that is just changing the building game. So, I think, it's multifaceted, that they probably weren't running the same businesses. Like our dads and stuff back in the day would have had to have gone home and made calls from the house phone or drive to a council building to book an inspection and stuff. It's all technology based now. But
cash the checks at the bank.
Yeah, but the concept of running a business and overheads and profit and loss and all this sort of stuff is, guys working their way up might not necessarily get the insight to that side of things. So are you doing, what are you doing in your business, mate, like with your team to sort of keep them in the loop with not necessarily your money tracking and stuff, but how you're running your projects, your scheduling, your communication on site? Is there some stuff there that you've put into place that is helping the team every day?
Yeah. So we use a job management software. We used to use Buildertrend. We've recently converted to Wonderbuild, and for anyone out there that doesn't do it, I highly recommend doing it, because it's such an easy, cost-effective way to understand what you were doing. Because if you don't do that, you have to manually do it if you are disciplined enough to do that, but that's going to take a shitload of your time. And let's be honest, time is the most valuable thing in your life, period. It's not money, it's time. So I guess all of our guys are on board with that and have been for a while. So easy way to track all your data. So like data is power is money. So if you understand how long it's taking your guys to do tasks, then you can more accurately price your jobs. So not only, you're more likely to get work, then you're also more likely to make money. Because let's be honest, we're all in business to make money. Yes, we love building beautiful things for people, but at the end of the day, the reason we do it is to hopefully put some food on the table for our families and then create the lifestyle that we want to create. So I would say definitely invest in job management software so you can understand your data. We do pretty basic sort of things, pretty old school in the sense that every Monday morning our boys are doing toolbox talks to, even from a safety point of view, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. We've got schedules that are linked to our job management software, which we also print out in A3 because some of my guys, including my supervisor, are a bit old school. They like seeing it in person, and I'm fine with that. The technology thing is sometimes a bit hard to get through to the older boys, especially I've been trying to get my supervisor onto the Bunnings Power Pass app, where you can literally scan everything in Bunnings yourself, and you don't have to go to the cash register and wait for the 50 people that are lined up. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so doing those sorts of things that kind of work for us. And then I guess within the office, so there's 3 of us in the office. My dad's in the office 1, sometimes 2 days a week. He kind of tracks all of our running costs and numbers, deals with all our insurances, all the, I guess, if I can be honest about it, all the boring shit that I don't want to do. But it's actually really important, and he's really good with that. He's retired now. It just comes down because he likes seeing the kids and he loves spending time with us. But he's also got a wealth of knowledge. He runs big electrical companies, and he understands all the systems and processes and job tracking at a big scale. So Dad's all over that, and then Alex is doing all things admin and inquiries and all that sort of stuff. So we also have an on-site, I guess you'd call it a toolbox. We call it a business development review meeting. We have one every Thursday at the same time, and it's just about being consistent with those few things that allows us to, I guess, stay in control of what's going on. Because there's a lot of stuff that you can't control, like delivery drivers late, taking out people's cars, doing all sorts of shit that I used to, and I've kind of accepted that now, that you cannot control. There's not many things you can control within this industry. You can control yourself, and you can control the way you react to things or the way you respond to things. But outside of that, it's whatever happens, and you just got to be able to, I guess, respond to it appropriately. And that's helped my mental state tenfold.
I think I did this exercise a long time ago, and it was around control. I think we all, when we especially run a business, or especially building business, and you're right, there's not much we can control, but there's sort of a 3-circle diagram with the smaller circle, the control factor, the mid circle around that, which is a bit bigger, that's stuff that you can influence, and then the bigger circle is stuff out of your control. And I find, when I know within myself, when I'm maybe, struggling to be at my best, or things feel like it's, a lot of pressure related stuff, whether it's a combined thing, it could be family, business, everything that's going on at once, kids. You spend so much time in that out of control phase, and then you kind of stop yourself and think, well, what can I control? And then when you focus on that smaller circle, everything else starts going a lot better. I know we've had discussions about this over beers before, mate, but what are some things that you do? You just mentioned Alex. Around every good man's an even better woman, and I know your better half's amazing support for you and your family, mate. So what are some things on the personal front that you focus on for yourself?
So just with the women thing, I strongly believe behind any successful business there is a strong woman that probably doesn't get half the recognition of what they deserve. So I just want to put that out there. Like, I would be nothing without Alex. I'm the face of the business, and everyone thinks it's me, and it's, it's all good. But without her doing what she does for our business, our staff, and also our girls, our family, like, we would be nothing. So, take my hat off to them, because, like, let's be honest, being a parent is, like, super hard, and having to deal with, I know you've got 4 daughters of your own, I've got 2, but having to deal with, that sort of stuff day in, day out, and then also deal with everything else at work, and she's dealing with me and my emotions of what's going on and how my days are going on. It's like, you're pretty much a full-time counsellor. So, yeah, look, it's we'd be lost without
Absolutely,
him.
mate.
But, yeah, to answer your question, what am I doing? So, like, I'm pretty strong with my routine. So I train most mornings. I try and train 5 days, and it's not, it's just more, I honestly train just for mobility and more just to keep my head straight. So whenever I kind of feel myself going down a bad path of, shit's going wrong and it's all too hard and this sort of stuff, I really try and go back to those core things that help me. And it's like this, trying to stay off the beers a little bit if I need to, and consistently train, because if I can train, I train before work. I get up early. I get up about probably 20 to 5, so I get up at 4:40 every day. It allows me just some peace before my day starts, before everyone wakes up, and I'll train from 5 till 6. Pretty fortunate that our gym's across the road from our factory. I'll come to work, have a cold shower, which kind of fries my head and gets me ready for the day. And then once I do that, I'm pretty much ready to take on whatever's going to come at me. And I find myself, if I'm consistent with doing that, then the things that I can't control generally don't bother me too much. So I guess, just staying consistent with that. And then I guess probably what else are we doing? Yeah, that's the main thing, is just sticking to my routines and allowing myself to do what I need to do so that the rest of my day can flow.
Yeah, I think that's pretty sound advice there, mate. I concur wholly. I think with your point, talking about your partner and how amazing women are. I recently just had we're chatting towards the back end of 2024, and listeners might not be hearing this until the new year, but my wife went in for a full knee reconstruction. Right leg, so all the driving and everything, she couldn't do any of it. She runs a business. We have ours with the kids and everything, and I already knew how amazing she was at doing everything, and basically it just to then have to do everything. I'm a massive. I even get my kids saying, if I catch them starting to complain about doing something, that teamwork makes the dream work, and my kids were superstars, but it really highlights just what we can do without even a second thought. Like, you get up and go to train in the morning, or you get up and go straight to work in the morning. You're just in whatever mindset you need to be, and you just go. But you need someone behind you when you're a parent that is supportive, and especially when you step into the business world. I know there's a lot of we used to work with both of our wives in the business, and they're both now doing their own things out of just choice and so forth. And we've got some other exceptional ladies that work in our business with admin and bookkeeping and stuff. So I think it's really important as a guy in the building industry to have that, a woman's support. We think differently to women, and they do have more of a calming nature to them than what us blokes are like.
Yeah, they're just more.
Thanks everyone for listening along to part 1 with Nath. We'll be back next week for part 2, where we dive even deeper into building and looking after ourselves. So see you then.
Let's cue the disclaimer. I need to let you know that myself and the Build Insite team are in no way, shape or form qualified to give you personal or specific business advice. We strongly encourage you seek out the use of professionals for products or when you are making personal or business decisions. Everything discussed during the Build Insite podcast is our own and the guest opinion and personal experience, and is of a general nature only. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you on the next one.